Taurus, you are represented by the Three of Cups and the Ten of Wands. So for some of you, this is about sharing your feelings, connecting with others, and perhaps you find that burdensome. In some cases, maybe you're resistant to that, or maybe you're working toward that. But there are lots of opportunities to share how you feel. For some of you, maybe, you're working towards something. There's some kind of celebration, or you're building on a friendship. You're reconnecting with somebody. There's something where you may feel joyful about it, where you're uniting with other people. Maybe these are friends, could be a gathering, a party. Or it could be something where you're trying to heal in some way. Maybe there's some resistance to healing, either you or a partner. Maybe this is about getting assistance from other people. So you may be focused on a new lifestyle, maybe getting married or getting engaged or attending a wedding, or in some cases, maybe getting a divorce. But there is a focus on seeking pleasure, connecting with friends, community, abundance, prosperity, and sharing that with other people. So this is a time where you may be sharing information, or there could be some gossip or some pertinent information that comes across your path. And there are opportunities to express feelings. And again, you may be working toward that, or you may be working against that. You may feel a responsibility, or you may be working to share your feelings and you're not seeing a whole lot of reward in doing so. For some of you, maybe there's some third parties. Maybe you're involved with somebody that you're working with, or you're sharing your feelings about your work. So in the positive, this is a time where you can resolve any misunderstandings. You can block the potential for misunderstanding. And it's through this information that you're sharing with another person. So you need to be careful of what comes out of your mouth, what you take stock in as far as what other people are saying, and timing could be important. So you're having to sort through information to determine whether you believe it or not. And given who's saying it, because somebody close to you may be blowing something out of proportion, they may be embellishing the truth or exaggerating, or there could be a secret that is revealed somehow. Or it could be that your imagination is running away with you and you start to believe something that's not necessarily true. Could also be that you're putting a lot of stock, you're putting a burden on yourself. And maybe you believe somebody is the answer or cause of your dilemma, or they're the savior, when in fact, that's you giving your power away. Now, you may be resistant to information, either the truth or some gossip. Maybe you're dealing with somebody who's selfish, or who's unfaithful, or who is a liar or promiscuous or overindulgent in some way. And so you are, again, either working towards something or resistant to it. You're putting a lot of effort, and maybe it's slow going as far as the result that you're seeking. This may have to do with exploring something, perhaps exploring something new, maybe travel, maybe traveling with children. So there could be issues where you want to travel or expand your mind, or perhaps you're pushing boundaries, or your children are, or there's just a need to go in a new direction. So perhaps you're starting a new journey, either figuratively, or perhaps, there's some new horizon you want to reach. You want greater freedom. In some cases, that could be that you're running away from a situation. So for some of you, children are impacting your relationship. Maybe you're exploring having a child or dealing with children, or perhaps you need to get back to the childlike connection you have with romance or other people, be more playful in your interaction. Maybe you're involved with somebody younger, or somebody from your childhood, or you're dating somebody younger, or simply getting involved with somebody new. But you are in an exploration stage. And, this card has a crescent moon on it. So you're planting some new seeds. And, initially when you plant something, it has to deal with that hostile environment. Is the soil rich enough? Is it going to be getting enough water, enough sunshine? So you may be fighting against the status quo, and you recognize the hostility within that, but you are trying to move in a new direction. You're vested in what's happening and moving in a new direction. Now, your romance is characterized by the Temperance and Four of Cups. So you may be dissatisfied with something. For some of you, there's a tie to a Sagittarius. Maybe something is on offer and you're having to compromise, or you're having to moderate yourself, or show some self-restraint, or perhaps your partner needs to. And this is either a source of dissatisfaction and anxiety for you, or you're feeling very satisfied. You're recognizing where you're compatible. You're, finding the middle ground. And this may be coming about because somebody's being very direct, very blunt, very honest. And communication is going to be important. It's the gateway to where your relationship is headed, and how you're addressing each other, what you're saying. Are you touching on the important issues, and how you're speaking about those issues? Are you feeling threatened? Are you insulting? Are you domineering or aggressive? Are you too excessive in your emotions? You're having to look at that and trying to find where you both can agree to disagree on certain situations. Perhaps you're dissatisfied with healing, whether that's physically or healing a situation. But again, you're looking at where you are compatible. Now, for some of you, if there are issues of addiction, maybe this is something about drinking too much. You're dissatisfied about drinking, either your own or a partner's. And maybe you don't want to accept anything that is connected to drinking or alcoholism or drugs. You're questioning some recent choices that you've made and whether it was the right course of action. So you may be pulling back and looking at a situation to determine where you're headed next. And you may feel like you're not on solid ground. You don't know what the future holds, and it's difficult for you to make decisions because of that. And you may be having frank discussions centered around that. For some of you, there's some kind of dilemma or obstacle or problem or challenge, and it's difficult for you to relax until you find the compromise surrounding that circumstance. For others of you, there's plenty being offered, and if you're feeling good emotionally, mentally, financially, and as far as your relationships, there are lots of opportunities to heal, to move forward emotionally and financially. It could be, though, you're needing to pay attention to what your intuition is telling you, because you could miss some opportunities if you're not careful. So you may be dissatisfied. It could be, again, tied to a Sagittarius person. There may be something offered, and you're having to look at whether it's worthy of accepting that offer, or there's some kind of potential pitfall connected to it. So you're looking for the long range. And again, it's going to be important to determine your intuition versus your emotion, facts versus fiction, and what the middle ground is. Now, this may have to do, again, with gaining some clarity and having something take off, whether that is, taking off on a trip, again, getting greater freedom, or running away from something. So you are getting some kind of truth, some kind of light is being turned on for you with regard to a situation. And maybe this is about, getting some recognition, getting some success in some area of your life, but you're gaining some greater clarity or truth in your relationship or about it. And it could be something about your interaction with another person brings some important issues to life for you. Now, why is this occurring?